I want to bring in Jon Finer, former Deputy National Security Advisor in the Biden administration and co-host of the podcast, The Long Game. It's good to see you, Jon. Right now, American ships are beginning to enforce a blockade of the Strait of Hormuz, and Iran is threatening to retaliate against any and every port in the Gulf. Where does this go from here?
Well, it's a high-stakes move by the United States, and one of the things I think I'll be watching and others will be watching is whether this is the equivalent to some extent of putting a gun to our own head and threatening to pull the trigger. What I worry about is that Iran's calculus right now is that the longer this goes on and the more damage that's done to the global economy, the more that will hurt the United States economically, politically, in terms of our relations with key allies, and so that they are happy to wait this out a little bit longer, even at the expense of their own revenues. Their economy is not in great shape. I don't want to hide that fact, and this will hurt them. But their belief is that this will hurt the United States and their friends and allies more.
Well, and then there's the question about negotiations. Is there any hope at all that there could be some sort of diplomatic détente? Well, this morning, former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton did not mince words about the administration's approach to the negotiations. Here it is.
This is hard work. You don't just show up in Geneva or Islamabad, talk for a bunch of hours and go away. This is hard, disciplined effort that has to go into diplomacy to reach any result. And I don't see this administration either wanting to do it or, frankly, being capable of doing it, because they send the same three people around the world, two of them, Jared Kushner and Steve Witkoff, they're supposed to solve Ukraine, Iran, Gaza. It's a joke.
Was it laughable to believe that talking for 21, 22 straight hours somehow could fix something that's confounded the world since the revolution in 1979?
Well, I think it's a bit too serious to be laughable, candidly, but it wasn't likely to work. I negotiated with the Iranians over a period of years when I worked for Secretary Clinton's successor, John Kerry, when he was Secretary of State. And the one thing I realized, maybe above all else, is that they are masters of the details. They know the file inside and out. You have to bring significant expertise into those conversations, and they always last longer than you expect. The idea that a deal was going to get done in one day is impossible to imagine. We negotiated on the JCPOA for multiple years, and in the last round, when most of the big issues were resolved, Secretary Kerry stayed in Vienna for 19 days in a row. The longest an American Secretary of State had been outside the country in one place in quite some time, probably more than a century, to try to finish that deal. And ultimately it got done. But it takes patience. It takes attention to detail. It takes a lot more than dropping an ultimatum on the table and asking the other side to say yes.
Jon Finer, it is extraordinary to have your insider information on that and what it's like to be in the room. Thank you so much for coming on the show. We appreciate it.